One of the ways we can really build trust with our clients and maintain that trust throughout the massage treatment is how we drape them. So it's very important to have a professional atmosphere with your clients. They will trust you if you're not sloppy with your draping. They will trust you if you are taking good care of them and always being conscious not to expose them. The last thing a client wants to feel is a breeze in their nether regions. That means the sheet is not covering them properly. And it kind of takes away that layer of trust. So you can see our client. We have a new client for this lesson. This is Amy. You can see how as she's on the massage table, the sheet comes right up to her neck, even to the hairline. I've got an extra towel for comfort and warmth. I find the extra towel, having that extra weight on top of the sheet, because the sheet can be quite light and loose. It could slip off. If you're using white sheets, they might be a little bit see-through. So if the client has black or dark colored underwear and you've got a light white sheet on there, it's going to be showing through, and that's not a good idea. So I always have extra towels, full-length towels, bath towels, beach towels that you can put over top of your client. And it just gives an extra element of safety, and it's more comfortable for your client. So what this does is this extra weight makes them feel more secure, makes them feel more grounded, and also it just covers them a little bit better. As you'll see when we do some detailed draping of the legs, that the towel, because it's a separate sheet, a separate item, you can move it in different ways from the other sheet. So the towel can be adjusted differently than the sheet can be adjusted. So it will help out that way. All right, so come on this side here. When we're working on the arm, if we're just going to be working on the arm, we only need to expose the arm. Like I've said in the past, if the client's going to be a couple degrees colder than you are going to be as you're working on them, because they're not moving, so there isn't a lot of blood flow going through their body right now. All right, so just take corner of the towel, fold it over like that at the diagonal, and then you can do the same with the sheet. And there you go. This is all you need to expose if you're going to work the arm. And then from there, again, we can talk about the border. So because the chair is a little bit lower than the massage table, I've used a pillow for this demonstration. And then you can see it's actually raised the height a little bit more. If I had a towel, it might be a little bit lower and it may not be as comfortable for the client. So this is how you would start to work on the arm, and this is how you would drape the arm. Some people like a little bit of a rolled up towel at the side, just a little bit to cover the sides of their breast, makes them feel more comfortable. I've just folded the sheet here, which is also acceptable. So that's how you would drape the arm when you're working on that. And when you're returning the draping as well too, you have to be careful and conscious as well too. So do it gently and with care. And sometimes it's nice just to add another, hey, you're in good hands. I got you. Are you comfortable now? As a child, we were always tucked in before we go to sleep. Our parents would come in, pull the covers over us, give us a little hug and a kiss. That was always nice. Don't hug and kiss your client. That is inappropriate. Hug and kiss your children. But just a little bit of a, hey, you're in good hands. You're supported. You're nurtured. You're cared for. Okay? Now, if you're going to be working on the back of the body, okay, we're going to bring the sheet down to the waistline. And usually we request the clients will have underwear, mandatory. So then we have a border. We've talked about this in the first few lessons, but we can just go over it again. Tucking the sheet into the underwear, tucking it into the sides, pulling the shoulders back from the ears, or pulling the arms back from the shoulders. There you go. Now, to bring it back, just a little bit of a tug. and there. So there's different drapings for how you would do it when they're face down, and also there's a change of draping when they're face up. Different elements are in play. Obviously with female clients, you have to be more conscious of the draping over the chest. Male clients, you can expose their chest. Female clients, we do not. Okay, now I'm going to go on to show how to do the draping on the leg. And just to be clear, in our style of massage, we do not ever expose the buttocks, okay? The buttocks are always going to be covered with a sheet or a towel or both. And then we have kind of the no-touch area here. So this is always 100% guaranteed to be draped and never exposed, right? This area right here. We've got a 6-finger rule as we're coming up. So the towel or the sheet is going to be cinched against the inner thigh, much like how a baby's diaper would fit like that. So I'll do on both sides, and I'm not too sure if the camera angle, if you can see it from there. We'll start just by moving the towel back out of the way like that. Okay, it's really the sheet that we're going to be wrapping around. And there's a few different parts to the puzzle here. First, we find where the buttock meets the leg, and we can put our finger right here. And then we're going to draw the sheet from the underside to there. Okay, and this is very important. One thing that you want to make sure you have access to is this edge. Okay, so as we expose the leg just above the knee, okay, we want to make sure we have access to the edge of the sheet, because this is what we're going to reach for when we come underneath the leg to pull it at a diagonal. And as you pull it up at an angle, the sheet will cinch closely to the inner leg, to the inner thigh. Okay, so you can see I have access to it. Now, with this hand, I want to bring the sheet up just to the 6-finger mark. Okay, so you've got half of the leg exposed and half of the leg covered. Okay, now, I'm going to bend the leg right here. We're going to lift up and reach underneath the leg, grab that corner, and as we pull it up at the diagonal, you can see how it cinches very neatly and very securely around the client's leg. And voila, we have our 6 fingers exactly. So the sheet is exactly covering 6 fingers to the crotch. So this is the perfect way to drape. And then, as I said previously, now you can use the towel to again give another element of safety and security. Okay? Now to undo this process, we can just bring the sheet like this. And again, you want to make sure as you're undoing it that you're not exposing on the undo. And this is one of the things that the students in our in-person courses have a little bit of a struggle with. So we usually have to do it, a few times for them to get it. So that was the left leg. Let's do it again on the right leg. Okay. So just moving the towel out of the way. Okay. Where the buttock meets the leg, put your finger right there. Now it's almost like you're accordioning the sheet. You've got an accordion, they've got different folds on either side. So, because you want to make sure, if you do it like accordion style, then you can get the edge. This is what we're after, the edge. So once that's pinned, scoop the sheet. And if you have a sheet that's oversized, it can be a little bit difficult. It is better to have an oversized sheet than an undersized sheet, but when you're doing the draping, sometimes a smaller or at least a more closely fitted sheet, not a flat sheet, but fitted to the size of the table. You don't want to be working with a queen or a king size sheet on a massage table. We use just a single or a twin, which works the best. Okay, so again, we have to have access to this edge. Now we're going to bring it up halfway. I can see the edges right here. I'm going to be reaching under with this hand now, So lifting up the leg, reaching up, grabbing this corner, and bringing it up at a diagonal. And I'll do it very slowly so you can see how nicely it cinches on the inner part of the leg. And the more you pull, the tighter it gets, okay? So there you go. And again, perfectly, 6 fingers, all right? And that's the ideal. You don't want it to go higher than that. It can go lower than that, obviously, but then you're not going to be able to massage the inner leg as effectively, okay? And then again, so the client is always going to feel secure. They're always going to feel they can trust you. And it's just a very professional way to do it. And if you do it any other way, you're not a professional.